Hey, how's it going, people? It's Intanger here. I'm going to be making a video of how to use the land claim system, and I'm going to try and use it a little bit more efficiently because my old claim was pretty boxy and took up 600,000 meters squared. So I've deleted that. I tried to make a video claiming it, and I did something wrong. I had to start over. So I'm going to start the video over. I'm going to try and claim a space for my whole house here, and I'm going to try and do it in a more efficient way so I don't use up so much space. So I have to beat 600,000, which was my old one. And so what I'm going to do in order to do that is I'm going to claim spaces, multiple spaces, and add them all to the same claim. So land claim new. I've started a new claim, and what I'm going to do, land claim start. And so I've just claimed and started in the same space. I'm going to try and start with my windmill. So I'm going to grow, land claim grow up, like 100. Land claim grow west 5, east 5, south 5, north 5. So now I've claimed a big space that will expand up to the windmill, and you can see it is pretty high. It's much higher than I actually need. So I'm going to shrink the top, shrink the up down, like 40. Okay, now you can see it's gone down a ways. That's probably tall enough. I think that's covering it all. I'm going to go down a little lower and just, oh, that's too low. So I'm going to grow back up 30. Oops, too high. Shrink up. Okay. I want to just leave it there. Let me just see. Yeah, that's too low. Grow up. Alright. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Maybe a little higher actually. Yeah, I might have had it good the first time. Okay. So that looks like it's covering most of it. If you don't want people to break off the edges, you do need to enclose them. So I'm going to grow east 1. Looks like it's covering. So I'm going to grow west 1, grow north 1, grow south 1. So that should totally enclose the entire window. And they aren't going outside of it anymore, so that means people won't be able to like pillar up there and break them off. People really jerk people do that. I haven't really seen it on this server. I've seen it a long time ago on another server. People would pillar up and they'd break off your windmill. So I'm going to go ahead and try and close the entire thing. I want the bottom to go higher because I'm going to have a separate space for the rest of my build. So I'm going to shrink down, which sounds funny, but that basically raises the bottom. And I'm going to do like 20. Okay, that's too high, maybe? I think that might be too high. So I'm going to grow down back again like 10. It's probably too low to the bottom because I do want to have a separate space for the rest of the build underneath. So I'm going to shrink down again. 5. Okay, that looks good. Alright, so that's step 1. Alrighty, so let's, now I'm going to add that one. So that area is added as part of the claim. Now, I'm going to add a separate piece, and add a separate claim. A separate volume to the same claim. So I'm going to start it over here. Land claim start. This one will be for the most of the build, for the bulk of the house. And the reason why I'm doing this separate from the part for the windmill is because the windmill is really tall, and otherwise all the space around it I don't need to claim, and I don't need it counting against me for my limits. So I'm doing them separate. That way I can have one volume for most of this, and claim row up. Go up 30. Now I can't tell if those are overlapping or not. they, crud. That might be overlapping. I'm not sure if that matters if they overlap or not. I think they are overlapping. I'm gonna lower that down, shrink up. Shrink basically means lower the top part. 5. It's kind of a pain, and if you don't have creative mode, to do some of these up high ones, but just get up there, and we can kind of see what we're dealing with. So my new volume is definitely overlapping a good amount, so I'm going to lower it down, shrink up again. Now it's probably not overlapping. Put this here. No. It's hard to tell because they don't line up, but I think that it is okay. You can see where they overlap, where they don't overlap. So I'm going to grow up to it. Okay, so now they're overlap. They're right up to each other. You can tell because there's only 2 colors here. All right, that's I don't know. I'm getting a little over specific with it. The main thing I wanted to show in the video is that you can have more than one volume of spaces all added to the same claim. All right, so that gives me most of the area around here. It gives me a comfortable space around my build, so I don't have to worry about people building right up next to me. Oh, but what I also need to do is that I have a basement, so I'm going to actually grow down like 20. That should cover. Whoa, that's way bigger than I expected, actually. I don't need that much space. So I'm going to shrink down like 10. And let's see, my basement is probably well more than enough covered there. So that'll probably do it. So I'm going to add that one, claim add. So now I've got 2 pieces added. And I'm going to try and actually include my boat dock down there too, so that I can have these as all part of the same claim. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another one. I'm going to start, and I'm going to run down here. And I did find out recently that you have to have these all connected. They need to be adjacent to each other. So if I want to add the boat dock, I have to have a space in between that is also claimed. So I'm just going to claim this walkway here. So I'm going to grow east. I'm going to grow east 1. And I'll just claim this whole walking path as part of it. And I'm going to grow down 1 and then grow south 1. Alright, so that gives me this whole, maybe 3 more. That's fine right there. So that's going to be claimed. It's a really tall one, but it's very narrow, so hopefully it shouldn't count too much against me. So I'm going to claim add that. Not add area. Your marked area has a size. So it needs to be at least 5. Oh, so it's got to be at least 5. So I'm going to grow south. I'm going to grow east 2. That makes 4, and grow south. I'm going to grow west 1. That makes 5. Okay, so now I'm going to try to add that, and it let me. So that is wider than I wanted to originally, so it might be taking up an awful lot of space, but let's just keep going and see where it comes out. Maybe it won't be so bad. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to end here. And I'm going to grow up 3. Grow down 2. And I'm going to grow south 2. That gets my gate, and that gets all the way over here, gets all the way over here, gets down enough. Alright, that should do it. So I'm going to claim add. Now I've added it, so now I've added like 4 volumes. I've got a really tall one, I've got this one big one around my whole house area, I've got this silly path one, and I've got the boat claim.
So I'm gonna try and save it, and it's gonna be called Tanger South, and it's done. So I've claimed these really awkward shaped volumes, and let's see what it comes out to. So my new claim is 120,000 meters cubed, which is substantially lower than what I started with, which was 600. So even with this really silly long narrow one that is very awkward, because it's so narrow, it's only 5 wide, it's still a lot better than claiming all this extra space up there that I had before that was around my windmill. I had all that extra space up there that was counting against me, and you know, nobody's realistically going to do anything with all that crazy tall space up there. So it was totally unnecessary to have such a massive volume like that. So I got rid of that, and now I just have the tall piece. I have this one big area, which is the main area I don't want encroaching on. And then I got this just to get down to my boat dock, and I have to claim the boat dock so people don't steal my boat. So even with all these really long and disconnected spaces, I've still barely used. This is not even a tenth of the available space that's available on the server. You get 1.3 million meters cubed. So I've used I've used less than a tenth, and I still have plenty of space left over for another claim if I wanted to make massive claims elsewhere. So that's how it works. You can add multiple volumes. You can you know, shape them to specific sizes, and you can connect them, and you can have multiple spaces connected, and still not use that much space if you're clever about it and careful about it. So that's how it works. That's how the land claim system works. You can also just keep it simple and just do a big volume like this, and just do one volume for your claim. And that'll usually work unless you want a windmill or some disconnected spaces. So if you do have a windmill and disconnected spaces, you can do like this, have multiple volumes within the same claim, and you still have plenty of space left over on the server. So hope you learned something. Have a good one. See you next time. Bye.